There are a whole range of tools and techniques that can be used to develop our mental toughness and each of the 4 C's. However, these tend to fall into 6 broad headings, and we'll look at these individually as follows. The first is around positive thinking. Getting control of our thoughts, using affirmations, thought stopping, self-talk and so on. That's hugely powerful in being able to control our mind and allow ourselves to focus on actually what's important and maintaining that positivity. Visualization as well, guided imaging. Athletes spend a huge amount of time now visualizing the outcomes that they want, and when you listen to athletes who have achieved great success, they'll often say that they've spent time visualizing it, that they've thought about this moment for years, and that's what they've been doing for visualization. Muhammad Ali was perhaps one of the greatest exponents of that. From the age of 14, he strongly visualized every day and repeatedly said to himself using affirmations that he was the greatest. I am the greatest, I am the greatest, he said over and over again. And he said that by the time he stepped into the ring for his first professional bout, he had a deep conviction that he was the greatest boxer of all time, that he was the greatest. And that came about from constant repetition and positive thinking and hours of visualization. So even in the workplace, that can be really important. Taking time out in the car or whatever to think about things positively and to use visualization for whatever goals it might be that you want to achieve. Next is getting anxiety control. Getting control of our emotional state. In sports psychology, we talk about our arousal state. And we can do that through a range of different techniques. Controlled breathing, relaxation, distraction and so on. But what we want to get to is a state where we are operating at our peak performance zone, our peak arousal state, and that's where we're just enough at the peak of where we want to be before it starts to slip over into becoming anxiety, and that starts to reduce performance. Then we have attentional control, being able to deal with interruptions, making our attention span and so on. A lot of research recently has shown that most adult human beings have an ideal attention span of somewhere between 45 to 60 minutes. And then actually about after that time, our attention, our ability to focus starts to drop off a little bit. So a lot of experts are now saying that it suggests that we spend about 45 to 60 minutes fully focused in attention and whatever it is we've got to do, and then give ourselves just a few minutes break. 4 or 5 minutes break can make a big difference and allow us then to go on and refocus. So attentional control, dealing with distractions as well in the workplace, in terms of being very clear and having that clarity around what it is we're trying to achieve, and making sure that we're focused on the right things and not on other people's agendas and tasks that might appear important and might appear urgent actually but aren't important. And then goal setting, being clear about our goals and breaking those down into small digestible chunks. Some people, we can use SMART goals. That stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant and timely. And then what I like to focus on, which is product versus process goals. So product goals are the outcome goals, the big things we want to achieve at the end, the outcome. And the process goals are the small daily steps that it takes to help us achieve that big outcome goal or that big product goal. Chunking that down into small digestible daily bits that moves us to where we want to be. That's a really powerful technique. And with that can develop confidence, momentum as well. And then lastly, the MTQ48 test that we looked at earlier on. That is a really good way, as we talked about earlier on, about how actually it gives us insight into what might be going on for a person, on what areas that we might need to spend some time developing to allow them to perform at the peak of their ability. And these all help to develop the capability to deal with stress, pressure and challenge.